Books presents an unabridged recording of Silverwing by Kenneth Oppel, narrated by John McDonough.
Part 1. Shade. Skimming over the banks of the stream, Shade heard the beetle warming up its wings. He flapped harder, picking up speed as he homed in on the musical whine. He was almost invisible against the night sky, the streaks of silver in his thick black fur flashing in the moon's glow. Airborne now, the beetle was a whirl of shell and wing. Shade still couldn't see it with his eyes, but he could see it with his ears. Caught in his echo vision, the insect hummed and glowed in his mind like a shadow edged in quicksilver. The air whistled in his flared ears as he swooped down. Braking sharply, he scooped the beetle up with his tail membrane, flicked it into his left wing, and volleyed it straight into his open mouth. He veered up and away and cracked the hard shell with his teeth, savoring the delicious beetle meat as it squirted down his throat. After a few good chomps, he swallowed it whole. Very tasty. Beetles were far and away the best food in the forest. Mealworms and midges weren't bad either. Mosquitoes didn't really taste like much, gauzy, a little prickly at times, but they were also the easiest to catch. He'd already eaten over 600 this evening, something like that anyway. He'd lost count. They were so slow and clumsy, all you had to do was keep your mouth open and swallow every once in a while. He spun out a web of sound, searching for insects. He was starting to feel full, but he knew he should be eating more. His mother had told him, she'd been telling him for the past 10 nights, he had to get fat, because winter was coming. Shade grimaced as he snatched a mealworm from a leaf and gulped. As if he could ever be fat. He knew, though, that there was a long journey ahead of him, south to Hibernaculum, where the whole colony would spend the winter. All around him in the crisp autumn night he could hear and see other silverwings streaking through the forest, hunting. Shade stretched his wings luxuriously, only wishing they were longer, more powerful. For a moment he closed his eyes, sailing by sound alone, feeling the air caress the fur of his face and stomach. His ears pricked suddenly. It was the telltale drumming of a tiger moth in flight. He tilted his right wing and wheeled, locking onto his prey. If he could just catch one, everyone knew how hard they were to catch, and then he'd have a story of his own to tell back at Tree Haven at sunrise. There it was, chopping its gossamer wings, rocking clumsily. It was laughable, really. He was almost upon it, and maybe this wasn't so hard after all. He cast a net of sound around it and drew in his wings for the plunge. But a hailstorm of noise tore apart his echo vision, and in his mind's eye he suddenly saw not one but a dozen silvery tiger moths, all veering in different directions. Shade blinked in confusion. The moth was still in front of him. He could see it with his eyes. Somehow it was scrambling up his echoes with its own. Use your eyes, just your eyes now, he told himself. He flapped harder, coming in fast, claws extended. Wings billowing, he pulled back and scooped his tail forward to catch his prize, when the tiger moth simply folded shut its wings and dropped straight down out of his path. Shade was going too fast, and he couldn't stop. His tail just swept right round underneath him, and he flipped. Clawing air, he plummeted for a split second before righting himself. He cast around for the tiger moth in amazement. Above him, it fluttered along placidly. "Oh, no, you don't." He beat his wings and climbed swiftly, gaining. But another bat suddenly flashed in front of him, snapping the tiger moth into his mouth. "Hey!" cried Shade. "That was mine." "You had your chance," said the other bat.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it. at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.